Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to my first ever go-kart video on this channel. Tomorrow I'm gonna be go-karting for the first time in 4 years. Thanks to Karting Champions League. If you want to sign up to this championship, make sure to check out the link in the description. You will be able to find the calendar there as well. I'm gonna be trying to compete in the full championship as well. It really depends, of course, on my esports schedule, because that's my job. But I want to get back into real life racing a little bit again. I've missed it a lot, even though I said a few times over the past few years that I did not realize how much I missed it. I drove earlier this year a Mercedes-AMG around Spa with SimLab, of course, and that kind of made me realize that I really miss it, and that's why I want to get back into it and just have some fun, you know. In the past few years I've spent a lot of my time at the F1 factory or in my room practicing for F1 esports, but I also want to do some other stuff, some fun stuff, you know, and this is one of them. We are at the Go-Kart Champions League kind of factory where they assemble all the karts. They order the chassis that you can see there, put all the parts on, then final thing is put the engine on. Those are all shifter kart engines that you can find there, and here they put them on. These are not all shifter kart chassis. Some of them are Mini Max or Junior Max, Senior Max perhaps, I'm not sure what to call this. I think it's called a Legends Cup car. This is my old steering wheel actually that we've put on. I still need to put on a go-kart steering wheel to make it even more realistic. This is Genk in Belgium, one of the most famous go-kart tracks in the world. I'm with a little Pac-Man machine over here as well. Might be time to cook. Oh, this is really hard trying to play this through a camera. Oh shit, we're cooking. That might be the greatest of all time. Oh. Yeah, oops. I might just stick to The Sims, to be honest. This is where they assemble all the karts. This is the little engine room they've got here. You can see all the carburetors, and they're assembling all the karts there. My kart is not there anymore because we already put it in the truck. I still fit in it. I haven't gotten too fat over the past few years. But I can't wait to get karting again. It's been 4 years. Last time I drove was with Filipe Drugovic and Nobuharu Matsushita just before COVID in 2020. And yeah, I've missed it a lot. Superkart here. We are not driving one of those. Those are like for real big circuits where like proper cars drive on. You don't ever see those on normal go-kart tracks. And then we're gonna be driving this shifter kart 0 to 80 in I think 2.8 seconds. I don't know how much it is in 0 to 100, but as you can imagine, a go-kart going 0 to 80 within 3 seconds is insane. It's got over 40 horsepower, 6 gears. And for the people who don't know, this is how you shift up, pulling it towards you, and this is how you shift down, pulling it away. This is an EMA engine. I'm gonna be driving with a R2 TM engine. These things take off. 6 gears and front brakes, 1 rear brake. Insane. Anyway, I should probably stop waffling and get into the driving.
Wat is dat dan?
Weer laten zakken, half uur. Remmen! Nou, dan mag er weer op, hè? Dan lopen er zo 52 uit. Dan mag dat. Nee, dan ga ik niet rennen als je weer last maar...
So off we go then. First time in 4 years I've driven in a shifter kart. Last time was on this track as well. It's my home track. It's like a 5 to 10 minute drive away from my home. And yeah, as you can see, it was very slippery. It was very cold, near 0 degrees. And just trying to get the tires at the temperature took like 10 laps. I think during this whole first session I didn't even get the tires up to temperature because I was just cruising around, getting used to it a little bit again. And of course, if you want to get the tires to temperature, you have to push quite hard. And especially in conditions like these, yeah, you just never really get them up to temperature. You're constantly driving over wet patches. And these things are so vile as well, because when you're not reaching optimum RPM, there's like no power, and then suddenly when you reach it, you absolutely take off. And as you can see there, I actually had a little moment. I hit a wet patch on the outside, and it got stuck immediately. So luckily the mechanic came to help me out. Didn't want to stall it, so I just stayed in. That way I didn't have to start it again, because these things don't start by a button. You have to push them and then put them in gear, the old-fashioned way. And yeah, as you can see now, still very slippery. I had a little moment there, and yeah, now we're actually getting properly up to speed. There were some more shifter cars driving around, so that was nice to have as a reference. I think in the first session I was around half a second off. As someone had a little moment there in front of us. Everyone's struggling on track here. Now, as you can see, that's the other shifter cars in front of us. These guys, it's actually one is a girl, actually do proper races. So they are a very good reference for us. And yeah, half a second off, felt quite good with that. Session 2 then. As you can see, shifter cart on the right struggling to get it started. Shifter cart on the left got it going like us. Now you can actually start it in second and first gear. And as you can see how slippery it is. This is the car in front, the shifter cart in front of us actually spun. We're trying to one at a time. You can see it's just not turning. The speed you've got relative to in 5 or 10 laps time is a joke. It's crazy how little grip there is. Whereas in like Formula cars, I know it's slippery, but yeah, it's different because you kind of do have downforce. We're going like 20 kph around these corners now, and yeah, in a few laps time we're gonna be like doing much more. I don't know the exact speed, but yeah, still wet, unfortunately. That makes it a little bit harder. Of course, ideally, we went karting when it was completely dry. But considering it's January, it's very cold, so when it's this cold, it basically takes all day for the track to dry. It's basically all day gonna be kind of wet. Even if it doesn't rain, it just takes so long to dry out. Maybe the last 2-3 sessions is gonna be dry, but yeah, as you can see already, the speed is much better on the second lap, because there's a yellow flag for someone who's gone off here. That's actually the same guy we came across in the outlap. He's struggling a little bit. That seemed like more kind of a technical issue than a spin. So now we're behind him again actually. And we're gonna try and get past him as soon as possible. I wanna get stuck here. And yeah, even though we kind of got used to driving in session 2, just overtaking and stuff like that, I just don't want to take the risk yet. Especially in these wet conditions, it's very easy to yeah, just overshoot like he did there actually. You can see he actually had quite a bit of more strain and speed, and that's because we're driving with a completely standard engine, straight from the factory. And yeah, he does races, so he actually has a bit more of a tuned engine, but he's also more heavy. I think he drives in the class that allows like more weight. And yeah, I think he's like 10 kilos heavier than us. Actually, I'm already like 8 kilos overweight here. So yeah, I think you have to be 74 kilos without helmet, without suit, without anything. And I'm like 83, 84, 82. Yeah, it really depends on the day, of course. Some days I'm 81, 80. Some days I'm like 84, 85. So as we're trying to get past the junior here, they obviously got a lot less power. Similar grip though. They usually drive on slightly harder tires at around 3/4 tenths per lap slower, depending per class, of course. You've got so many different tire manufacturers. We're driving on a tire that's called MG. I think most championships are driven on Viga or LeConte. As we pull into the pits now, actually, for a quick break, because this stuff is really hard. You cannot imagine how physical this is. Of course, the last few years of racing I did was Formula cars, which is quite a lot different. It's a lot more strength, because you get such long breaks on the straight, you can kind of get a breather and get your heart rate down. But then in the corners, of course, it's really, really heavy. No power steering in basically any Formula car apart from Formula 1. As we get past that junior on the inside, you can see it's already a little bit more dry in session 3. There's around an hour between sessions, 40 minutes to an hour. And yeah, the kind of really wet patches have gone away on the racing line, but you can see it's still a little bit damp, which is of course not ideal for grip. On the inside there it's still a little bit wet, and that kart in front of us went off and we went off as well. Suboptimal, but yeah, there was water down there. I think someone even before, like a few seconds before, went off there into the grass for a brief moment and put water on the track. So a little off, but we go again. The same corner we went off in session 1 actually, but not much we could do about it. If there's water on track, yeah, there's no runoff, and you're basically straight into the barriers. But there's no damage because we basically had to slow down all the way. Behind us, someone drove into us as well, so rear bumper had a few scratches, front bumper as well, because we hit the barrier. Everyone went into the pits for a moment because there was water on track. So suboptimal scenario. As a Rotax Junior pulls off in front of us there. It's actually a Lando Norris kart. Back when I used to race, that one was not there because Lando was not in Formula 1 yet and didn't have his own kart brand. So the shifter kart in front of us as we're just discussing the track situation. But yeah, no damage done, and we're just gonna go again. So on we go with the session. Really got into it now. The first session, half a second off, but now, if I remember correctly, I think we were around half a second faster than the other shifter karts. Maybe a little bit less. I'm not sure exactly. I can't remember exactly anymore, of course. But yeah, this is the other shifter kart that does races, and we're gonna try and get past here. It's not easy, of course. It's a very short track, as you can see, which makes it very hard to overtake, especially when it's like wet patches off the racing line. They are a little bit faster in the straight as well, because the person ahead of us is, I think, not overweight actually, and yeah, also a tune engine, so that makes it a little bit harder to get past. But we're getting closer. We're kind of edging to the back of it, but then these two little straights, she pulls off into the distance, so that makes it a little bit hard as the session is actually ended now. So off we go into the pits, which is after this left little kink. There's actually two ways you can go. The one on the right is where you take like a quick break and can return to the track. If you go to the left here, that means session's over. Of course you can still rejoin the track, but you have to put it on the trolley, so take some extra time. So first 3 sessions done today. Didn't go too bad, apart from a bit of damage on the front bumper. Hit a wet patch caused by someone who just went off track a little bit. So it is what it is. Pace is good. A little bit tired, to be honest. It is quite tough to drive on such a short track. You have to shift a lot. You basically never get rest, so it's like you're constantly doing cardio on a high level. But yeah, it's going quite well, to be honest. A few mistakes here and there, but I'm getting used to it again after 4 years. So yeah, really enjoying it. Maybe later today I can set a little personal best record. Only 8 tenths away at the moment on used tires. So we will see when it dries up if we can do any better. So the good thing about the Karting Champions League is that all karts will be the same. There's very little you can change. You can change the width on the front and on the rear. You can change the caster and camber on the front. And I think that's pretty much it. Everything else should be completely equal. Engines will be a lottery before the event starts, so everyone throughout the season gets different engines. So if there's a small change or a small difference in the engines, then at some point you will get a better engine across the season. So that's the good thing about it. And of course, if you win the championship, you will get a season in Formula 4. So can't wait to do some driving in Spain on Campillos. So yeah, I'm not sure if actually the first race of the season is still Campilos. Calendar might have changed. I don't remember exactly. This is a few weeks ago that I was driving. I think 2 or 3 weeks ago that I made this video. And yeah, as you can see, we're actually driving together with other shifter karts now. And we are once again gonna try an overtake. Again, I'm still getting into rhythm, of course. It's 4 years ago. And yeah, shifter cars are just incredibly hard to drive. It's so different to Formula cars as well. As we go for a little send down the inside, and we got the other shifter car behind us. And yeah, we're gonna try and keep in mind. Little race. We actually gained a little bit through the corners there. I'm not sure if we're driving on the exact same tires as well, but mine are quite worn. I just didn't want to, as they actually hit each other, I didn't want to use new tires because the grip you gain from new tires is so insane that, yeah, you get tired even faster. And I just wanted to do laps, to be honest, like 15 laps. It's only a half a minute track, so yeah, I could top drive like 10 minutes. Then I was done. Now, just for your imagination, how often we have to upshift on this track. We go up to 6th here from 4th, go down to 2nd in this corner, in turn 1, up to 4th before this left kink, down to 2nd for this right-hander, up to 4th for this left-hander, and then down to 3rd for this one. I keep it in 3rd here. You can go up to 4th and down to 3rd again, but I keep it in 3rd because it's easier. And you can just let it rev out. I think it's the exact same fast. Then we go up to 4th here, up to 5th, and down to 4th gear again, and then up to 6th for then your next lap. And then we have to brake. Now, you can even change brake balance. I'm not sure if you can see. It's on here. It's a little bit hard to see, but it's this little kind of aluminium knob that you can put forward and backwards. We're driving quite far backwards because the grip is quite low. Usually if the grip increases, then you go more forwards, and if it's wet, you go more backwards. So yeah, this is the last session of the day, actually. And I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, but this is not me driving anymore. Our engine mechanic, Gust, decided to do some laps, and yeah, he's been driving these shifter karts for over 10 years now. I think this will be his 11th year. We actually drove together in the German Championship. We were on the same team in 2015. And yeah, he drives in KZ1, even those World Championships, as he knocks over the GoPro by adjusting the radiator. So yeah, that's that footage gone. But yeah, he was a tenth faster than me, which I was quite happy with, to be honest. Of course, he only did like 15 laps in this specific go-kart, but yeah, nonetheless, I was quite happy with that, only being a tenth off. KZ1 is the highest level. As you can see me pop up there, I was looking at the lap time. I wanted to see how far I was off. But yeah, Ethan didn't know that I was not driving in the last stint, and his mind was gone. He did not understand.
Because my mate drove with my helmet on. Ethan. Oh no.
So if you do want to compete in the Karting Champions League, make sure to check out the link in the description. Hope you guys enjoyed my go-kart video. I think many more are coming. I want to do more real life racing stuff on my YouTube channel. So hope you guys really enjoyed this one. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more real life racing stuff. And see you guys next time. Ciao.
This was the biggest mind. 29 years. Oh.